Food and Drink Futures Forum, which took place at 26 Elder Street, the headquarters for the Future Laboratory, was all about providing a global snapshot of everything that's inspirational and insightful in the food and drink sector at the moment, and crucially what brands can do to future-proof their business. We're joined by a brilliant panel of speakers this year. We had Bruce Langlands, Director of Foods and more recently Restaurants for Harrods.
We have very informative information regarding our customers through our reward card system. And what we looked into recently was some of the trends that we're seeing with our customers and how they're shopping. And personalisation was one of those. We are the only retailer, I believe, in the world that have our own dedicated tea garden in Darjeeling. And we sell 185 different varieties of loose tea. So by personalising tea, it's just like about personalising your own fragrance. It allows the customer to have something that is absolutely unique to them. I think the luxury consumer is changing the way that they shop. We've seen maybe 10 years ago, especially in Harrods, where we were the local supermarket of Knightsbridge. Now we're no longer that. We've got major competition on our doorstep with Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer. But we genuinely have seen our local customer come in on a daily basis to purchase fresh items rather than come in to do a weekly shop or a monthly shop as we probably knew as children. So I think their attitudes to that have changed, and also to get that key customer to spend these days and part with their hard-earned cash, you've got to look at something that is unique in the environment, because if you've got something that's similar to everybody else and you're in a price war, maybe you will not win. If you've got something that's completely and utterly unique to Harrods, then it is a sought-after item and people want it.
We also had Ryan Chetty-Wardana, a mixologist and owner of White Lion Bar.
I think consumer knowledge and interest in cocktails has changed hugely. A lot of that was influenced by the way the food culture changed in this country, and that had a very direct correlation with the way that people were looking at their ingredients. So the internet spread the information of, the world of cocktails, and people ran with that. They got interested and they started coming to the bars and wanting to find out more. And it was an incredible time to be a bartender and being kind of a part and a mirror to that understanding. So get them to kind of engage with their own tastes, understand their own palates, understand their moods and their preferences, and then try and find a drink that fit that scene. The idea was to look at everything in the world of food and drink we could. It's partly products, it's partly events, it's experiences, it's bars. It's all of the above, really.
We also heard from Darren Rook, the founder of the London Distillery Company, and his head distiller, Andrew MacLeod. We also had a sensory explosion, and this was a food and champagne pairing designed to explore the complexity and versatility of champagne.
Champagne is a very neutral style, and that's why we've chosen three very different styles of champagne today, so that those structural elements are easily discernible. And the idea is to fire people's imagination today to look at that champagne as being having variety and complexity, and also to convey that champagne is possible to have it with food. And I think through education we will get a greater appreciation of what champagne is, and takes it very much away from just a celebratory drink. It is much more serious, and I think with the prestige cuvées in particular, it should be considered a fine wine. By definition, you will have a group of people together. You'll have a very convivial environment, and that can provoke discussion. And I think it is very subjective, although there are guidelines which you can follow, and part of the fun is discovering for yourself and sees what works for you.
Food pairing is important because it allows you to understand the consistency within the brand and the work of the cellar master itself. I think people want to be challenged when they do a food pairing. They want to be questioned, and they want to be put in quite an uncomfortable position. I'm going to a food sampling or food pairing to be challenged, to try something new, something that I don't cook at home. And sometimes also the food pairing have to be confident and go a bit beyond the limits. So it's really a question of trust, and so your brand has to be respectable enough to let them try something that they wouldn't normally do.